In the next couple of months, we've got a chance to make sure that we keep Barack Obama honest. There's only one, well, I know what you mean, but there's only one thing that's right now holding back this president. And they don't think that they're not sitting out there and they're saying in 2014 they're going to try to come and win seats and get the House. And if you remember what happened in 2009 and 2010, we may have won elections in 2010, but America was transformed with a stimulus, Obamacare, with Dodd-Frank, and we've got to fight back. And so down in CD8, which is a lot of the state now, we have a vacancy. Ann Emerson's moved on to other things, and we have a nominee now. And between now and June 4th, I'm asking you to help. You don't have to move to Cape Girardeau. You can if you want. Or Sykes, Eddie Justice here, probably Poplar Bluff, you got to say that. But wherever, you don't have to move to the district, but you do have to help. We have to make sure that on June 4th, we resoundingly elect this gentleman I'm going to introduce, because we have to have the House. Ann Wagner said earlier, we lost a few seats. It's tighter than you thought. It's hard to govern and hard to block, and we have to do it. And Jason Smith was nominated. He's a state representative. I'll just tell a story for those of you that want to know what kind of man someone is when nobody's looking. When the people of the state of Missouri gathered to override the partial birth abortion veto of Governor Mel Carnahan, you may remember this. This isn't about higher ed funding. This is partial birth abortion. Mel Carnahan multiple times vetoed a ban that our people passed. And this guy was a college student, which says something about his age. But he went and gathered signs and put signs, you might remember this, on the sides of the road all over Missouri, trying to make Mel Carnahan understand that we were going to override the veto, and we did. And this guy was in college, and since college, he's got a law degree. There's nothing to do about that. But he's been an active part in our community, in our legislature, and he's going to be a congressman from the great state of Missouri. I want you to hear from, but I want you to help this guy, Jason Smith. Jason?
Truly an honor to represent the 8th Congressional District as the Republican nominee. We had a lot of fine candidates that was in the field, and hard work and perseverance pays off. And a country boy from Dent County actually might send Mr. Smith to Washington. So, no, I do want to say, I'm running for Congress for several reasons, but it's time to bring, in my opinion, an energetic voice to Washington, D.C. When I started looking at this race, I just kept getting upset, thinking that we have only balanced the federal budget 51 out of the last 56 years. We've increased the debt ceiling limit over 70 times since 1962. In 1930, the average American had to work 57 seconds to pay their taxes. Today's time, the average American has to work 99 days for the tax collector's share. Folks, these kind of statistics should make everyone furious of what's going on at the federal level. And what I think we need to do is to make Washington to be a little bit more like Missouri. In Missouri, we've been able to balance the budget. Washington has continued to spend, in fact, it's been almost 4 years since the Democrat-controlled Senate has even passed a budget, folks. Not even balanced. That's a problem. In Missouri, we have a AAA bond rating. Washington, D.C., we have $16 trillion in debt. That's scary. But what I will tell you, a lot of folks, a lot of the naysayers may look at me and say, hey, that's a young guy. He may not have the experience in Washington to make it. I don't want Washington experience. I want the experience of Missourians, and I want the experience of representing rural Missouri. Just less than a week ago, the Republican delegation in a small rural town in the heart of the 8th District in Van Buren, I pledged to them that if I was elected, I would represent our conservative rural Missouri values. And I pledge to you that I'm committed to do everything we can to make sure that the 8th Congressional District is elected by a Republican. And I commit to you also, Ed, that I'm committed to making sure that our party only grows, gets stronger, and that we're united regardless if we're a Ron Paul Republican or a Mitt Romney Republican or a Santorum Republican. We're all Republicans, and